Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video. We sell all the coolest Japanese collectibles and figurines straight out of Japan. You can find out more details about us in the description of this video, including our Facebook page and our store. So in this video I just wanted to show a couple of figures that I found recently, and these figures are actually pretty cool because they're not actually Japanese releases. They were made by a company called Irwin Toys, and they were a Canadian company that obtained a license to release figurines outside of Japan. So I'm sure a lot of you would be very familiar with Irwin Toys figurines. These particular two, obviously, are Dende and Kinkai. They were released in the earlier series, around series 2 maybe, or series 3 of their main line of figures, their kind of base line of figures. I think in the end they had 11 or 12 series, and unfortunately the company ended up going bust when Dragon Ball was still really popular. So obviously some of their other lines mustn't have been going too well, but these are really old. I think they came out in around, I'm guessing maybe around 98, 99, probably 1999, actually possibly 2000. So, you know, they're pretty old figures. And you got to remember, back then, the internet was still, you know, pretty new. So it wasn't, you know, if you wanted to get one of these figures, you couldn't just jump online and find one online. You know, you kind of, once they were released, once they kind of sold out, you couldn't really, you couldn't really get them anymore. But it's really actually kind of, it was a big surprise for me because I saw this guy, I found him at, just his shop, and I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool, because I didn't actually have him originally, because when I got into Dragon Ball, I think Irwin Toys had just released Series 4, so my first ever Dragon Ball Z figure was the Irwin Toys Goku, and I still have that. I just don't have it here with me in Japan. But this Dende I thought looked pretty cool. But actually a few months ago I was thinking about the Kinkai. I really wanted to get a figure of Kinkai, and some of the ones in Japan I think are not that good. They're a bit small, like the WCF ones. And then a few weeks after finding this one, there was this new like secondhand shop that opened. They sell a whole bunch of stuff. It's not even just figurines. And there was this guy, and I kid you not, I nearly fainted when I saw him. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this was, I actually jumped online to try and find one, and I thought the prices were just too expensive, especially with shipping. And then when I found him, I mean, what were the chances? Because you don't really see Irwin Toys figures very often. So I was really happy to get him. These also do have articulation, so you can actually move the the arms. There's not a lot of articulation, but you can do it. And I think the legs, legs looks like they also move as well. They're a bit stiff, but oh wow, yeah, really stiff. But you wouldn't want to move it anyway, to be honest. But I still think that's actually probably the best Kinkai figure that's ever been released anywhere. So, and as for Dende, I don't know, again, there haven't really been many Dende figures that have been released before. But anyway, I was really happy to get these figures. They really help complete a scene. You know, if you're going for like a Namek Saga or Frieza Saga display, you know, Dende played a pretty big role in that story when you think about it. He was the guy that like hooked them all up with the Nameks, you know. He was like the pimp at the gate. I just referred to the Earth God of Dragon Ball as a pimp. I'm sorry, Dende. But he's pretty cool. You know, he's pretty cool. He goes well with some of the other figures that you could add, like the Vegeta Ichiban Kuji holding the Dragon Ball and that sort of thing. Yeah, I'll put a link to that video if you like. I have no idea what that figure is. But anyway, I thought that was a good sort of blast of the past. I was really happy actually to find these figures and add them to my collection. Maybe you guys have your own memories of Irwin Toys. I've actually been thinking of doing like a video showing a lot of the Irwin Toys figurines and just sort of giving a guide for that, because they actually release some really cool stuff. But some of these characters and these figures that haven't really been released in Japan are actually really popular. And I remember I actually went to sell a couple of years ago my Red Ribbon battle suit that Irwin Toy released, and I only sold it just because it was so big and took up so much room. And I listed it online, and someone actually in Japan bought it. It was weird because it was still back at my home, you know, outside Japan, so I had to send it international to, you know, the person living in Japan. But, you know, there is demand for these kind of things, and occasionally you do see, I also saw like an Android 13 figure crop up the other day, so you sort of see some of these ones. But yeah, I'd love to read some comments about, you know, what you guys remember about Irwin Toy and the figures that they've released. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.